When I was in high school, a girl in my class moved to North Carolina, and that summer 4 of her friends decided to take a bus trip to go visit her. We were 16 and our parents didn't think this was a big deal. Now you have to understand that in the late 80s, 16-year-olds that attend a private high school on Long Island are not particularly worldly. The tri-state area was our whole world. We lived in Long Island, we played in Manhattan, we knew Connecticut existed but no one could afford it, and we knew New Jersey existed but no one would admit it. As far as we were concerned, the rest of the world, which is anything northwest of Westchester, was the land of overalls with no shirts and banjo plucking. So that's the perspective this story comes from. And while some of it may be skewed by the naive perspective, I swear it's all completely true. We got tickets for a late afternoon Greyhound. Tom's mom dropped us off at the Port Authority bus station. The Port Authority in the late 80s was not the shining example of municipal triumph that exists today. There were bums living in the bathroom, graffiti on every surface, and the place hadn't been cleaned since 1953, and our parents thought nothing of leaving us there on our own. Ultimately, we did manage to get on a bus and not on a milk carton. At first, the entire bus was populated with Northerners, including the bus driver. Our first stop was somewhere in New Jersey where we were told we could go into the station and get some dinner. It was here that all our fears and suspicions about New Jersey were confirmed. I didn't think it was possible for a place to be worse than the Port Authority, but what it lacked in bums, it made up for in grime and bugs. You know those steel rollers that cafeterias use to keep hot dogs warm? There was a roach cooked onto one of the rollers. He died there trying to get a hot dog. Now, I can understand risking death for a hot dog off one of the trucks in Midtown, but Jersey? Come on. I wouldn't have even gotten in line if I wasn't so hungry. But the sight of that critter spinning around and around and around for who knows how long, well, that meant we limited ourselves to the prepackaged food with no holes in the bags. Heading down south, the bus periodically stopped, and slowly the population on the bus went from mostly Northerners to mostly Southerners, including the driver. At 2:30 in the morning, a man gets on the bus who looked a lot like Bob Seger on meth. He had shoulder-length dark hair and a beard and mustache. He was skinny and disheveled and carried a backpack. He went close to the back of the bus where those of us who were awake heard psst, glug, 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 psst, glug, 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 psst, glug, 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 glug. And in the span of 5 minutes, he downed a six-pack. And then he started talking to everyone. And I don't mean individually, I mean the whole bus. Well, come on, why is everybody so quiet? Let's have some fun. I always say if you can't have fun on your bus trip, well, when can you have fun? Most people ignored him. Most people.
Shut up, boy.
A big old redneck sitting a couple of rows behind him started in with him. He had a husky build, fiery red curly hair, and a scruffy beard. He wore a black T-shirt with the Rolling Stones lips and tongue logo on it.
Shut up, boy. People are trying to sleep.
Who said that to me?
I did. Now you shut up and leave people alone.
Don't you tell me to shut up.
You shut up or I'll come up there and shut you up.
The girls that we were with started to giggle at this point.
Who's that? Is that pretty little thing I passed coming on the bus? Come on back here, honey. I'll give you something to giggle about.
Shut your mouth, boy. I'll come up there and shut it for you right now.
I'll come back there and kick your ass, I will.
The bus pulls over. The driver comes to the back of the bus and with great calm says, "Excuse me, is there a problem?"
Well, yeah, there's a problem. The dumb redneck behind me said he's going to kick my ass.
I done told you to shut up. Don't make me have to come tell you again.
The driver stops them both and says, "Now look, if there continues to be a problem, I'm going to have to ask you to get off the bus. And I'm not saying that you are, but there's no drinking on the bus." The driver goes back to driving, and not long after that, the drunk gets up and goes into the bathroom at the back of the bus. He's in there so long, most people assume he's passed out. Just as people were drifting off to sleep again, there's banging on the door.
Help! Help me! I'm stuck!
You in the shit house, boy. You shit, you belong in the shit house.
Who's that? Is that dumb redneck behind me? I'm going to come out there and kick your ass.
You stay right there in the shit house, boy. You right where you belong.
Driver pulls over again, comes to the back, and says, what seems to be the problem?
What do you mean, what's the problem? I'm stuck, that's the problem.
The driver tries to open the door and says, "Sir, you have to unlock the door."
I did unlock it. I ain't stupid, it won't open.
That's right, because we don't want any shit out here. You stay in the shit house.
I'm going to come out there and kick your ass.
The driver stops him again and says, "Well, sir, I'm afraid you're just going to have to stay put until we get to the next station, and we can have someone come on board and look at the door." Suddenly the door swings open, the guy spills out onto the floor face first.
Well, shit, I was a pushing when I should have been a pulling.
And that was the last time any of us ever took a bus.